Could a Servbot beat Akuma? We rarely see MegaMan characters fighting anything besides other robots. So exactly how much danger are you in if Glyde is rampaging down your street? Could you fight off a maverick Data in a dance-off? I'm going to break down where the games indicate all of the MegaMan cast rank in power, using common sense and extrapolation to fill in the gaps. I'm not ranking every enemy, Robot Master, or Maverick individually though. Robot Masters and Mavericks are likely all comparable in power. Regarding the ranking ratings, I'm not ranking individual attacks, and MegaMan is a combo-heavy series. I'm ranking how much destruction would a character likely cause before we could stop them, assuming we had 8 hours notice they were going to spawn and attack somewhere on Earth. Most individual attacks in the Legend series would range between wall and house level. Defense ratings are what level of damage would be required to one-shot.
Betas. You call them carbons. Though artificially created, in the end they may be closer to people than you think. The people living there know thirst, hunger, disease. They suffer all these things, and in the end, they grow old and die. But for one brief moment, they shine as bright as the sun. Because they know these hardships, they also know the meaning of happiness. Compared to theirs, our perfect world is cold and sterile.
Carbons, or betas, are the human-like people in the Legend series. They blur the line between human and machine, being able to reproduce but having mechanical limbs that can pop on and off. When they don't replace their limbs with weapons or tools, they display similar abilities to a human, but with a bit higher durability and strength. For this reason, I'm putting them in H ahead of Classic and X humans with athlete-level strength and combat armor durability. Reaverbots are the forgotten descendants of mechanoids haunting the underground ruins. I see their power and durability being closer to treble, or beat with less mobility though. So I'm placing them in F behind treble with monster truck durability and partial city block offense.
It's the police!
The reason for that Reaverbot placement is because of the police, who are surprisingly tanky against Tron. In addition, bombs and ramming the Gustav with cars can inflict damage. I'm putting the police at the top of H with wall-level offense and double combat armor durability. Denise, the strongest officer, edges the general police out when in her mech that throws crates of explosives. She's been shown as tree or light pole level offense minimum. I'd give her pickup truck defense too. Roll is an engineer, so in theory she could use some of MegaMan's weapons, and in non-canon games has thrown bombs. In canon, her only feat is bashing MegaMan in the face with a wrench if he gets handsy, potentially game overing him if he doesn't stop. I can put her ahead of basic carbons for that, but not by much. Roll's father, Banner Joe, has an arm cannon, so I guess he can go above Roll. That's something. Data's feats are all inferred, given that he can traverse any ruins with no trouble, and even travel between the moon and the earth. I don't think it's because of combat. More likely he just has Reploid level defenses comparable to a bomb shelter. Possibly regeneration abilities given he can repair and recharge MegaMan. It's tough to give him a spot, but I think that defense and mobility with no offense would get him maybe top of F. Tron is most often associated with the Gustav, whose strongest form is the Hover Gustav. In this form, it is equipped with a flamethrower and a Gatling gun that fires napalm rounds. I can give this form town level attack, and it does seem pretty tanky in the Legends world. I'd estimate around monster truck durability, so ahead of treble. Teasel's strongest mech is probably Blitzkrieg, a quick snake mech that fires missiles when it hops out of the ground. I give it small city offense and motorcycle level durability, though when underground it effectively has the durability of a moving bomb shelter. I feel good putting it above the Robot Masters. Bon Bon has two forms, a floating body and wearing a drill hat. I see the former being the stronger, but as a literal toddler, his missiles and raspberries aren't used that effectively. I see him with monster trunk defense and potential to be town level offensively, but he'd be lucky to take out a single building. So I'm putting him behind Eddie. Glyde's strongest solo machine is Rafale, a transforming bird mech able to do flybys as well as shoot electric and sonar attacks, and do melee combat. It's focused on fighting a single target, which holds it back to town level with car durability, so right behind Tron. Servbots and birdbots, collectively, may be able to do impressive things, like leveling a building, but individually, I see them as small house level offense. That being said, they display the ability to rapidly repair from any damage. So I'm ranking them ahead of Tango.
Hi there. What's up?
Bola is a middle-aged man that fights with knives and smoke bombs, seeming to have a cloaking device, not super speed. He can whisper to some Reaverbots and kick around bladed tops as well. The cloaking is his ace. That's maybe city block level attack, and his defense doesn't seem any different from any other carbon. I think I have to put him above the police, including Denise, in H tier.
You might not realize it, but someday you'll be old too.
Claymore is Bola's armored partner, who doesn't move much. Most of his attacks are spattering straight ahead, but he can shoot lasers around a large area too. Partial block offense and semi-truck defense, right below Denise. Gats and Geets have limited feats to go off of. We saw them clashing as robot dragons, and then Geets fought MegaMan with the strategy of dive bombing and peppering the ground with shots. Flying is good, especially if you can go through buildings, but my gut is saying they can't. So I'm putting them above Cinnamon with small city level attack and pickup truck level durability.
Well, that's done it. They woke her up.
The Carbons have decided their own fate. This is because they've activated Mistress Sarah.
Sarah is kind of a mystery. In her battle body, she has plenty of destructive attacks and seems capable of flicker, but she prefers to float in place their slowly flitted opponents. I could see her hitting a large city offense if she really fought seriously, but as it is, small city offense and elite tank level defense, right ahead of MegaMan. Classic MegaMan.
Yuna. Remember me?
Yuna has no feats besides healing Roll's mom, but as the same type of unit, her capacity is likely comparable to Sarah. This may be wildly controversial, but Juno deserves to edge out Palette with large city offense and semi-truck durability, in my opinion. His attacks are good: explosive waves, tackles, a damaging aura followed by calling lasers down from above.
Anyway, I wonder how MegaMan's doing.
Finally, MegaMan Walnut, or Trigger, like other MegaMan, has a barrier to protect him from damage. He has rollerblade boots that protect him from hazardous floors, and thanks to Roll, an arsenal including everything from missile launchers, energy swords, bombs, drills, shields, and a laser. Granted, he's only been able to carry 1 to 3 weapons at a time. But let's give him just Shining Laser. Just Shining Laser, 1 weapon. I see small city offense and semi-truck defenses. Right above Sarah.
Sorry, MegaMan, but it looks like you might be stuck up there for a little while more.
I bet you weren't expecting a power drop, but that's what all the lore indicates. If you liked this, please like and subscribe for the rest of the series. Next time, Battle Network? It's going to take some time for me to determine how to tackle that, because there are much bigger power gaps between Navis than Robot Masters, Mechanaloids, or Mavericks. I guess what I'll say is I'm thinking of only evaluating them in copybot, or assuming they face all opponents in the cyberspace, and instead of defense, noting any hacking feats. I'm not sure if copybot or cyberspace would be better. Something's coming. What are you doing here, Rico? You aren't officially canon. What? V didn't stay dead after Capcom pulled the plug on your game, and now he's coming for me to get his revenge? Very well, let's assess the power of our defensive roster versus Teal Zero and Teal Zero Stop. Rico's combat powers include summoning recreations of Ultimate 4th Armor's Lingering Charge Shot, and Awakened Zero's one-hit kill move, though it doesn't one-hit kill. It just covers a huge area. It's random what attacks she will summon, and she can also paralyze nearby mechanaloids instead. Her other attack is creating a damaging force field that also turbocharges her systems, so she can summon these attacks more rapidly and heal from injuries. The summoned attacks linger in place like sentries, continually firing, allowing her to create traps, and maintain an offense while retreating. Her attack power isn't that great, but the versatility leaves me seeing her as medium metro attack with data or program level defense. I'm going to say she nears Epsilon level. She could create a copy of herself conceivably before dying, but likely would need assistance. This data level defense is also applicable for every X-type character. When Riko upgrades herself, with an armor she gains a buster allowing her to fire Ultimate Fourth's lingering charge shot freely, or modifying it all the way up to an explosion cloaked laser. She also can use some of Zero's moves like a dash attack, Rekoha, the shooting lasers up from the ground move, and flinging projectile slashes around her. She also gets an extra shield every 8 seconds. I'm seeing her around small country, but not surpassing Ultimate Fourth armor. Iko, Riko's Kudere older sister, has similar abilities, but she can summon enemy attacks, such as Gospel.exe's claws, to core enemies, X5 Sigma's purple squares that slide around the battlefield, or rapidly stun enemies. She can also create a damaging force field, but it is anchored to her, so she can rush in close to torch fleeing opponents. You think that's kinda cracked? The force field will also release 15 terrain ignoring bullets that slow her prey if they hit, and grant her a shield. Base, this has to be small country ahead of Model OX. When Iko is upgraded with an armor, she can now spam an Annihilator Hadouken followed by a miniature one that sweeps all around her. Anything hit is swallowed by a damaging field. Her second move is called World Formatting, and it deals massive damage to anything vaguely nearby. And if something survives the attack, it will be inflicted with bugs that cause it to malfunction. She uses any of this, and she also gains a shield. I will give her planetary offense ahead of the Mother Elf. Droid Claire is an anthropomorphized computer bug that carries a haunted purse, releasing ghosts to attack and curse enemies or create damage pentagram shields. The ghosts will even retaliate if she suffers any injuries. I'm going to put her behind Harpuya with small metro offense. Angepitoyer is a glitch given a humanoid form resembling a child angel. He basically has a Nova Strike that leaves behind a damaging field and can release enemy homing arrows that grant him a shield. Upon destroying anything, he also heals. As great as the Nova Strike is, I can only imagine him eking past Gaia armor with large city power. An error gave rise to Eratoer. Her attacks include using a pentagram to create a damaging field that heals her and increases her abilities, and weakens enemies within it, including causing attacks to divert and miss. Her last ability is to call upon the Holy Spirit to shoot 8 powerful spirit bullets upon each use. These abilities are very spammable. Yes, she's got God and anime on her side. She's near indestructible and she can deal obscene amounts of damage over a wide area. She surpasses Dive Armor Iko with at least planetary offense. Dive Armor X is the result of Riko making X a new armor. This armor allows X to charge his buster to fire an Annihilator Hadouken that leaves behind damaging fields upon hitting. He also can create a damaging shield that heals a good chunk of his health. I'm feeling this one ahead of X3 Sigma's Street Body, with large city offense. Zero also received a new armor that allows him to lunge at enemies, to cut, and engulf them in slowing fire. He can also fling 2 big slashes at enemies. He can also heal when below half damage or when killing an enemy. I think he could just surpass the baby elves with large metro offense. Axel wasn't left out and receives an explosive Annihilator Hadouken, flinging the letter A and then teleporting to it, releasing a massive cluster of explosions while healing. I'll place him above Ninetales with medium country attack. Even MegaMan.exe got a special cross from Riko. But the data is damaged and fragmented currently. Of course they didn't leave out the most popular X character. Iris can release energy blades in all directions that chase enemies down, or she can rush in their direction to chase down and paralyze them with a slash, releasing projectile slashes if they manage to slip away. Whenever she uses either of these attacks, she gains a shield. For these reasons, I'm putting her top of B with multi-continental power. Rico wondered what would happen if she made a new armor for Dive Armor X, and this was the result. For a quick charge, X can release 4 Annihilator Hadokens that leave behind damaging fields on anything that survives. X now has a multi-hit paralyzing Giga Crush, Nova Strike, or giant projectile slashes. Using any of these moves also gives him a shield. Yes, after each of the 4 Annihilator Hadokens. I don't think saying this is the new top of S will be surprising, which is beyond galaxy level. X can drift through the cosmos like Cosmos, finding planets to crash on and destroy. Via is a teal recolor of Zero that is the result of part of Wily's virus merging with an administrative profile in the deep log. Even if he doesn't want to spread errors and glitches, he is forced to. He was always an obnoxious troll, so he mostly has no qualms with spreading corruption. As you'd expect, he can mimic some of Zero's wide area attacks, but doesn't compare even if he can heal a tiny bit upon a kill. For this reason, I am putting him just ahead of Fake Zero. As the virus eats him further, he becomes VS Stop, replacing his attacks with swinging his sword rapidly around him, or dropping an X-shaped weapon that extends energy beams and has a damaging aura. This second attack also heals him. The highest I can see him landing is above X-Fire with Large City. Healing and spazzing with a sword is nice, but he's always a sitting duck. He's VS Stop because that's what he has to do anything. His biggest strength is how bad he is about staying dead. I think we're good taking care of this surprise threat. So yeah, Battle Network next time. How about a like if you liked these videos, or a subscribe to catch Battle Network or Star Force. Now stay dead this time, Via!